Students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. So dear students, as you know that in my last video I have started chapter 11, the proposal written by Lomo Checo, okay, in your first flight. So let us continue with the same chapter. As of now in this chapter we have seen that this is a play written by Lomo Checo. In the beginning of the chapter, we have also gone through a description about Russian marriages. How a Russian marriage takes place, what are their tradition, what are the rituals, what are the customs. So we have read about it in the description given in the box. In the beginning of the play, we have seen that there are three main characters of the play: Chubuko, Lomo and Natalia. In the beginning of the play, Lomo comes to Chubuko's house to propose his daughter Natalia. He comes there to ask Chubuko's daughter's hand, who is of 25 years, in marriage. But when he informs that he has come there to propose Natalia, then Chubko becomes very happy. And Chubko also wants to Natalia to get married with the Lomo, as she was 5 and Lomo was 35. Then conversation started between them. So later Chubko leaves and he asks that he would send Natalia. So let's see what happened next in this play. So you all are requested to open your book at page number 145. So I hope already you have taken out your book. So now please open it at page number 145. Look at the last paragraph. It's cold, I am trembling all over, just as if I had got an examination before me. Further, Lomo says that actually Lomo, goes there to propose Natalia. So when Natalia's father leaves, he is about to go to call to Natalia. At this he said, he's just about to leave. He wants to call Natalia. So at this point he says, "It's cold. I am trembling all over, just as if I had got an examination before it." So he said, "I am feeling that as a student feels before his examination. The great thing is, I must have my mind made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an idea or for real love, then I'll never get married." So he said, if I will give time to myself, if I will find out a suitable girl for marriage, then I would never get married. But it's cool, Natalia. Step Novena is an excellent housekeeper. He starts thinking, what's wrong in Natalia's step Novena? She is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking girl and well educated. What more do I want and what more I need? Okay. But I am getting a noise in my ears from excitement brings, and it's impossible for me not to marry. In the first place, I am already 35, a critical age, so to speak. He says that if I, it would become late, then I won't get married because I am 35. Which is a critical age. According to him, 35 was a critical age. So already he was at critical age, so he should not wait, and he should not wait for the right girl, and he should marry to Natalia. I suffer from palpitation. I'm excitable and always getting awful upset. At this very moment, my lips are trembling and there's a twitch in my right eyebrow. So let me write the meaning of palpitations. Dear student, palpitation is a disease which causes beatings of heart. Palpitation means here beating of heart. Palpitation means beating of heart. Okay. And one more word here, twitch. Twitch means pull with a jerk. Twitch. Twitch means pull with a jerk. Next word in this paragraph is lunatic. Lunatic. Lunatic means mad. Okay, so please write them down. Palpitation means beating of heart. Twitch means pull with a jerk. Lunatic means mad. Yes. So further he said he was suffering with palpitation, beatings of heart. I'm excitable and always getting awful upset. And because he was suffering from this disease, so usually he got excitable, upset, awfully upset. At this very moment, my lips are trembling, and his lips started shaking, trembling. And there's a twitch in my right elbow, and there was a jerk in his right elbow. But very worst of all is the way I sleep. So further he starts thinking about himself, about his age, about his disease which he was suffering from. So all things he started recalling, remembering. Okay, and also he considered his age was a critical age, and if he would wait for long, so for a suitable girl whom he loved, then he was not going to find any suitable girl because already he was of 35. So the way he was making himself believe that Natalia was a suitable girl to get married for him. But the very worst of all is the way I sleep. He said the worst of all is the way I used to, I sleep. He used to sleep. It was the worst way. I no sooner get into bed and begin to go off. So as soon as he, went to bed, he, started sleeping. He started sleeping. Okay. So as soon as he went to the bed, he started sleeping. When suddenly something in my left side gives a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and head, I jump up like a lunatic, walk about a bit, lie down again. But as soon as I begin to get off to sleep, there's another pull, and this may happen 20 times. So when when he sleeps, a pull in his shoulder he feels, in his head he feels, in his start jumping like a mad, and then he walks a bit, and then again lie down, then again he feels same. So it happens with him 20 times. So it was the worst thing. The worst thing was the way he used to sleep. So during sleeping he was facing this kind of problem. Natalia Stepanovna comes in. So at this point, when he was thinking about his age, he was thinking about his sleep. So all these things he was, recalling at the same point. At the same time, Natalia enters. She comes in. Natalia. Well, there it's you. And Papa said, go, there's a merchant come for his goods. Okay, as in the beginning you have seen, no, they consider the marriage as, economically also it should be good. As they compare, as they, used to get Russian, they get marry also for the property, as in the box description given in the box we have gone through, we have seen. So that is why when Natalia's father went up to send Natalia, he said to Natalia that there's it's you, and Papa said, go there. They go, there is a merchant come for his goods. So the way her father told her. How do you do, Ivan Vasilevich? She asked. How do you do, Ivan Vasilevich? Lomo. How do you do, honored Natalia Stepanovna? Natalia, you must excuse my apron and necklace. We were shelling. She said. Natalia said, you must excuse my apron and necklace. So necklace means, student, gown here. Necklace means gown. Necklace means gown. Okay. It's a type of long frock. So she said, you don't mind my apron and gown. We are shelling peas for drying. So they were removing peas for drying. Shelling means removing. Shelling, I am writing here. Shelling. Shelling means removing. Okay. We haven't. Why haven't you been here for such a long time? Sit down. So she said, why are you standing here for such a long time? Sit down. They seat themselves. Won't you have some lunch? Further, she asks him for lunch. Lomo, no, thank you. I have had some already. Then he informs that he had taken his lunch already. Natalia, then smoke. Here are the matches. Then she asks him to smoke, showing him matches, giving him matches. The weather is splendid now, but yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. She said, the weather is good now, but yesterday the weather was so bad that the workers, they didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you stacked? Stacked means stored. So take the screenshot. I am going to rub it. I hope you have written it. If not, please write it. Write these words and their meanings. I am going to rub them. Okay, you can also take the screenshot. So staked means stored. S-T-A-C-A-E-D means stored. So Natalia asks him, how much hay have you staked? how much hay he had stored. Just think, I felt greedy and had a whole field cut. She said, I was feeling greedy and I got whole field cut, and how I am not at all pleased about it because I am afraid my hay may rot. And she said, now I am not feeling good what I have done. It is not, it cannot be said good because I am, feeling that my hair will get rot. I ought to have waited a bit. She said, I should have waited to it. Waited a bit for my field to get cut. I should have waited a bit. But what's this? Why you are in the evening dress? Well, I never. Are you going to a ball or what? So she said, why are you in a? She asked him why he was in his evening dress. Further, she added that whether he was going for any ball means a dance party. We have also come across this word in the chapter necklace, that is chapter 8 in your footprints without feet. Okay, so further she inquires whether he was going for any ball or what. Though I must say you look better. Tell me, why are you got up like that? So she asks further. She also admires him that he was looking good. So further, once again, she asks how he was wearing that dress. Lomo, excited. You see, honored Natalia Stepanovna, the fact is I have made up my mind to ask you to hear me out. Of course, you will be surprised and perhaps even angry. He said, Stepanovna, for the purpose which I have come here, if I would reveal, if I would share with you, you might get surprised or even you might get angry. But I said, it's awfully cold. Then further he said, it's awfully cold. Natalia, what's the matter? Well, Lomo, I shall try to be brief. So Lomo says, I will try to tell you in brief. You must know, honored Natalia Stepanovna, that I have long since my childhood, in fact, had the privilege of knowing your family. He said, Natalia, you know that since childhood I know your family. My late aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited my land, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother. So he did not say anything directly. He did not say that he had come there to propose Natalia Stepanovna, but he moved around the bush by saying that we know you since your childhood, and our family knows your family very well. So then he tells that he inherited a land, always had the greatest respect for Natalia's father and her mother, her late mother. The Lomos and the Chubukos have always had the most friendly. Further, he added that the Lomos and Chubukos, both the families, are always been friendly, and I might almost say the most affectionate regard for each other. So further he added that there is a most regard between each other. They both respect to each other. And as you know, my land is near your neighbor of yours. Further he says that my land is a near neighbor of yours. You will remember that my oxen meadows touch your birch woods. So further he said that here my oxen meadows a place and birch woods a tree. Birch woods a kind of tree. So he says that Lomo further says that his oxen meadows was touching Natalia's birch goods. Natalia, excuse me for interrupting you. You say my oxen meadows, but are they yours? So further she said, said to Lomo, you said that my oxen meadows, but is it yours? Are they yours? Lomo, yes, mine. Natalia, what are you talking about? Then Natalia says, what are you talking about? Oxen meadows are ours. She said that oxen meadows belongs to Natalia's family. It is hers. It does not belong to Lomo's. Oxen meadows are ours, not yours. Lomo, no, mine, honored Natalia Stepnovna. Now an argument started between Lomo and Natalia on oxen meadows. Lomo said that oxen meadows are his, and Natalia was saying that oxen meadows are her. So, an argument started between them for the possession, for the ownership of oxen meadows. Natalia, well, I never knew that before. How do you make that out? She said, I never heard this before, that oxen meadows are yours. So how could you make it yours? Lomo, how? I am speaking of those oxen meadows which are wedged in between your birch woods and the burnt marsh. So wedge means, student, laying in. Wedge means laying. Okay? Laying. Wedge means here laying. Okay. So dear students, we have seen an argument started between Natalia and Lomo for the possession of the oxen meadows. Further he said, I am talking about those oxen meadows which are laying in between your birch woods and the burnt marsh. Natalia, yes, they are ours. She again said, yes, I am also talking about those oxen meadows, and they are ours, not yours. Lomo, no, you are mistaken, honored Natalia Stepnovna, they are mine. Further said, honored Natalia Stepnovna, you are mistaken, those are mine. Natalia, just think, Ivan Vasilyevich, how long have they been yours? Further she asked, so just tell me, how long have they been yours? Lomo, how long? As long as I can remember. So Lomo replied that yes, as long as he could remember. Since then, oxen meadows were his. They belonged to him. Natalia, really? You won't get me to believe that. She said, I cannot believe that. Lomo, but you can see from the documents, honored Natalia Stepnovna. Further, Lomo added that she could see in the documents that oxen meadows belonged to Lomo's. Oxen meadows, it's true, were once the subject of dispute, but now everybody knows that they are mine. Further, Natalia added that oxen meadows were the subject of dispute once. Further, Lomo, not Natalia, sorry. Further, Lomo said that once oxen meadows were the subject of dispute, but now they belong to my family. There's nothing to argue about. Further, he added that it is nothing to argue about that whose oxen meadows are. It is clear that they are mine. You see, my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows in perpetuity to the peasants of your father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her. Perpetuity means continuation. Perpetuity means continuation. Okay. So further he said that Lomo said that there's nothing to argue about. You see, my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows in perpetuity to the peasants of your father's grandfather. So further Lomo said that his aunt's grandmother gave those oxen meadows to to Natalia's family for the free use, for the peasants means farmers, for the farmers of her father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her, and in return they were making bricks for them. The peasants belonging to your father's grandfather had the free use of the meadows for 40 years and had got into the habit of regarding them as their own when it happened that. So he says that actually it is a freehold of those peasants who lived there since last 40 years, who were living there since last 40 years. That is why they are in habit of calling it their own. So it's happened like this. He gave explanation regarding the ownership of oxen meadows. He said that his aunt's grandmother given those oxen meadows to Natalia's father's grandfather for the free use, as it is the peasants of Natalia's grandfather were living, the farmers of Natalia's grandfather were living on that land since last 40 years. So that is why they were in habit of calling it their own. When it happened then, Natalia, no, it isn't at all like that. Natalia said that it is not like that. Both grandfather and great grandfather reckoned that their land extended to burnt marsh. Further, she said that grandfather and great grandfather both said that their oxen meadows extended to the burnt marsh, which means that oxen meadows were ours. I don't see what there is to argue about. It's simply silly. So she said nothing is in it. There is nothing to argue about that whose oxen meadows are. It is very much clear. It is very much clear that these oxen meadows belong to my family. They belong to Natalia's family. So there's nothing to argue about. Lomo, I'll show you the documents, Natalia. Step Novena. So dear students, we have seen Lomo has come to Natalia's house, Natalia's home to propose her. But here, when Natalia comes, they starts argument on their ownership of land. So this argument continues. So Lomo says, I'll show you the documents, Natalia. Step Novena. Natalia, no, you are simply joking or making fun of me. What a surprise! We have had the land for nearly 300 years. further Natalia added that they had having that land, they were having that land since last 300 years. Okay, so they have had the land for nearly 300 years, and then were suddenly told that isn't ours. Then someone comes and telling us that it is not ours. Ivan Veselovich, I can hardly believe my own ears. These meadows aren't worth much to me. Further, she added that these meadows aren't worth much to me. They only come to 5 destins. Destins, destins, currency of the Russia. Okay, so she says that these meadows are only 5 desiatins and are worth perhaps 300 rubles. Desiatin is a unit of measurement. Sorry, it's a unit of measurement. So she like hectare, meter, kilometer. In Hindi we call it bigha. So in the same way. Okay. So she said that it is about 5 desiatins and are worth perhaps 300 rubles. But I can't stand unfairness. She says that this land does not cost much, but it is unfair to call it yours. Okay, I cannot stand unfairness. Say what you will, I can't stand unfairness. She said, you can say what you want to say, whatever you will say. Okay, but I cannot stand unfairness. So the students, we have seen that Lomo went Chubko's house to propose Chubko's daughter Natalia for marriage, but when he reached there and Natalia came, so an argument regarding oxen meadows started between them. So we will continue in the next video also with the same play, and I hope you all are enjoying and you will enjoy a lot. So thank you students for watching. See you tomorrow.